Hello, hello. Good evening, ladies.
Hi, Dana.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to our last call.
Hi, Dana. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Reda? Hello.
Missing you a lot, actually.
Sorry.
Missing you a lot.
Well, here we go. It's the end, right? But not really the end. I'm going to miss all of you a lot as well, except as I've told you before, we still stay in communication, not just because the program finishes, not just because the Facebook group closes, doesn't mean you don't feel like you can't reach out to me, like you can't communicate with me. Of course, in all fairness, in the next couple of months, I might be a little much slower to respond as I am taking time off because I'm still here in Tokyo until May. So I'm definitely going to be not on social media, not checking my emails every single day. Uh, but I will. So I suspect after the Eid holiday, I might have some SOS emails and messages potentially. This tends to be the pattern over the years, but it's all good. I just want to reassure you that don't don't feel like, if you feel it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it happens. When it happens, that you backtrack, that you feel like something is not going the way that you want it to go, by all means, feel very confident in reaching out to me. And I will answer you. I will help you. I will walk you through whatever issue you're going through because this isn't just about a program and we're finished. This is a lifetime journey. We've completed 3 months together. That's how long it takes me to teach you what I have learned and what I believe is the basics of healing naturally, the basics of taking back your power around your health, the basics of if you wanted to come off of your medication, but it's not the end. This is literally just, you laying down a very, very strong foundation. In theory, we could be in a program together for years and years and years, right? Because healing is a lifelong process. It doesn't finish in the 3 months. So keep that in mind as we, close off our time together and you move forward more independently, which is a key part of learning as well, that your body's always going to respond to what you are feeding it. Physically, emotionally, mentally, and it's always going to give you that feedback. And the body's never wrong, and the body doesn't just break down, and you've understood how your body works. So hopefully, at least the element of worry and fear has decreased greatly when it comes to your symptoms, when it comes to how your body functions, and you feel more empowered when it comes to standing up for your body and standing up for your health and knowing what your body needs because nobody's going to know your body more than you. So definitely I'm still part of this process as much or as little as you need me to be in the next while, as long as I'm doing this work at least. So very important reminder to all of you and just assurance that I am here to support you when and if you need to in the future. All right. Today's class is all about you. So today we're celebrating all of your hard work and all of your success. And I want you all to join me in celebrating each other. What I would love to do is for us to go around one by one and for each one of you to share two wins. So it could be more, but at least one. One physical win. So something you have noticed dramatically shift in your physical body, whether that's a symptom, whether that's a condition, a disease, whether you've come off of medication. Could be more than one, but definitely one. And then I also want you to think about and share an emotional or mental win, or something that's shifted for you in terms of your belief system around health. So maybe you used to think that, there's no way I could ever come off of my thyroid medications, and now you have. Maybe you used to just believe that since everybody in your family ends up with high blood pressure, then so will you, and now you realize that you don't. So think about a belief system, something that shifted for you physically, and something that shifted for you emotionally or mentally. So that's actually three things I want you to share, not two. Belief system, physical win, or mental/emotional win. I'll give you a few minutes to think about it, and whoever is ready to go first, just raise your hand. If you want to write it down, like if you want to think about it and also write it down, you can do that. If you're ready to go, Inji, was that your hand raised?
Yes.
Go ahead.
My symptom is definitely insomnia. And I
Mm,
mean, I literally the day I mess up or I eat something which I shouldn't,
yeah,
especially sugar, I've noticed I just can't sleep. And the minute I go back, it's like a switch on and off. That
yeah.
is definitely
Mm,
emotional, definitely anxiety. I used to be so anxious, so anxious. Now I'm better at handling anxiety. My kids complain because they say no, you're always hungry, you're always hangry, but
angry.
angry. But actually I used to be much more anxious internally, so now I'm much better, much better.
Much less hangry.
Much less anxious in
Okay.
general, and I think it was one of the things that used to keep me up at night, when I don't
Same.
sleep. I'm anxious, I
Mm,
get things totally out of proportion in my
yeah,
head,
yeah, yeah.
better. The shift, I think it's not something major, but I used to weigh myself every single morning.
Mm,
And now I haven't noticed. My son took my scale out of my bathroom for the last 3 weeks, and I haven't noticed, because I'm not thinking, oh my God, I didn't lose, I gained half a kilo. Oh my God, I ate this yesterday. So now I'm heavier I didn't even notice that he took it out of my bathroom.
amazing.
So for me, I think that's a win. That's a
A
big win.
huge. That's a
It's not
huge win.
just the loss and the weight and all of this. I think of food, whether it is good for me or not, and I feel it instantly. It's magic, honestly.
Yes, it is. Yes, it really is. It really is. This is the beautiful. I'm so, so, so happy for you. And I'm going to say this to all of you today that you all deserve all the rewards of your hard work, right? This is all a direct result of you taking the information and actually doing something with it. Because how many people can join a program, can have the information given to them literally on a golden platter and do nothing? So all of you here have not only taken that leap of faith at the beginning of the program, but actually followed through and gone, some of you have gone through some really, really challenging phases in your healing, but the body responds. I keep repeating. So when you do what the body is just waiting for you to do, every single one of you is going to have a story about how your body has responded. So thank you, Inji, so much. And
You,
you know,
Dana.
to more and more healing all the time, inshallah. Thank you.
Oh.
Hind, go ahead. Unmute yourself, Hind, please.
Yes, okay. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Dana. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah.
Okay, I have yeah, multiple things to share actually.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, before I came to the program, I had joint aches, terrible joint aches, especially in my lower left leg, right leg.
Hmm.
It was something very recent that has يعني resulted from deficiency بقى toxicity وكل الكلام ده.
Hmm.
It was affecting me even when I walked. I used to scream from pain. I
Hmm.
couldn't bend my knee or my leg. It was disrupting.
Hmm.
Yani it was hindering any physical activity. I've been noticing that it's not completely gone, but it's way less than before. To a point that sometimes when I walk, it doesn't hurt anymore. But sometimes when I bend it or when I'm sitting still for a very long time, it hurts a little bit, but it's not in a destructive way خلاص anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing. Um, Also by digestion ban, everything related. I've had terrible acid reflux and I've had gastric issues since I was a child.
Yeah.
Before Ramadan, I had started to experience significant transformation in my gut.
Hmm.
The acidity was almost gone. The burning sensation, the heartburn, the cough that woke me up at night was almost gone.
Yeah.
I was sleeping much better, much calmer, and all that. But unfortunately, I was doing very well the first 2 weeks of Ramadan. But until, I was not my bowel movements were not the same, blah, blah, blah. And then I started that, noticing the fermentation, although I was eating nothing but fruits and veggies. So speaking of that, I decided to listen to my body and to stop fasting
Mm,
because I realized that I started waking up at night
mm.
with the cough again. Fasting was not helping me at this point.
Yeah.
It was actually harming my body.
Yes.
And that is a huge breakthrough for me to because I like to stick to fasting and rigidity and weight loss and كده. So that for me was a huge step. And even when I told my parents, now I'm coming over to visit وكده, and I told my mom I'm not fasting. And طبعا كالعادة بقى the parents, so why not? I cannot harm my liver is deteriorating again.
Yeah.
So no, I'm gonna take care of me now
Yes.
because this is not something I've done the best within my capacity, and that's not something I can handle.
Yes.
So I'm still getting back on track because my digestion is not as good. I'm not having as many bowel movements as before. But the good thing is that I started listening to my body
Mm,
big time.
mm,
Even now, I notice the cortisol spikes, and I work more on releasing the cortisol on the spot from the body. I'm becoming way, way, way more aware of my sensations and how I feel and how I react. Um, that's a thing. Uh, I'm completely off the hook from caffeine and sleep aids. That's a huge, never have I once, despite the many nights that I sometimes would still not sleep or have some restless sleep. The fact that I'm not waking up at night thinking
mm,
of just popping up melatonin or
mm,
whatever sleep aids I used to take to just shut me down, the
mm,
fact that I just stay with it
mm.
and let it do its thingy. And I understand that whatever if it's the liver, if I'm stressed, whatever, I just sit with it and I let it be. And if I don't fall asleep again, if I do fall asleep, it's amazing. If I don't, I understand. Like I forgive my body now for even if at many times it doesn't make me feel comfortable, even if the next day I'm feeling very irritable, I'm angry because I didn't sleep and because sleep affects me from one night.
Mm.
So now I'm very much forgiving to my body to a point that sometimes when I massage my liver, I talk to it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
When I'm
Love
so
it.
bloated and I have this kirsch, I'm like, baby, I'm sorry you have to go through this.
I love it. I love it. Show the
Yeah,
liver.
because
Show the liver some
I
love.
always Yeah, because I always used to blame my body for everything.
Yeah.
Like if I gain weight, like انت السبب. You're always the reason for me not feeling well.
Mm.
But now I know that it's the one thing that was a victim all along.
I mean, ladies, how many of you can relate to this, blaming the body and thinking that something's wrong with you and something's wrong with your body and the body's breaking down when all along your bodies have just been trying to communicate with you and to tell you, please, please, I'm responding to what you're doing. Help me out. And the big thing is, being so kind and finally coming to the realization that we have to stop blaming our bodies for not being able to process junk and toxicity. It's not their fault. They weren't built that way. And the awareness that you're getting around this, Hind, and then just allowing, sitting with the discomfort. This is another
Mhm.
big one because most of us try to numb whatever discomfort, physical discomfort,
Exactly.
emotional discomfort. But when you numb it, you temporarily feel like you've solved the issue, but then you open yourself up for much longer term issues. And this is very, very challenging. So I really, really commend you and all the ladies here who have sat through the discomfort, powered through the discomfort, whether emotional or physical, to see what happens at the other side. And what happens at the other side can never disappoint because it's the truth of your body. It's the truth of what the
Mhm.
body needed to feel and process in order to heal.
And I have one more thing I want to share. Like I realized that coming from a very from a history of being of fearing weight gain so much to a point that I developed anorexia nervosa at some point, and the guilt and the blame also whenever I made a mistake and ate something I was not supposed to eat, or you know, now the fact that I just look at it as food and I'm allowed to make mistakes, and I realized it was also a projection of how I was not able to forgive myself in real life whenever I made a mistake. It was me not, this was only, like food is only a symbol for what you carry inside on a
Yeah.
much vaster level. So
Yes.
it's teaching me actually a lot of self-forgiveness and sitting and staying with the process, whatever it is, regardless of, because I cannot really now say that I'm feeling perfectly fine and I'm all healed. But it's learning to stay with the process and to trust it, regardless of the discomfort and the pain sometimes it brings along. Yeah, so that's all for now.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So, so true. Trust the process. Unfortunately, we can never say how long the process will take. We can never say what part of the body is going to heal first and in what way it's going to heal smoothly with a few bumps here and there. But we do know that as long as you keep going and you trust the process, 3 months, 6 months. Some people take some a year, depending on their condition. You will come to a point where the body resolves whatever is happening inside. So thank you so much, Hind, for sharing this with us. And thank you for, taking that step and sitting with the discomfort and allowing yourself to re-love yourself, because that was always our natural condition, wasn't it? But we were programmed away from it. So allowing yourself to come back to loving yourself and loving your body and loving your liver and talking to your liver that way. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Rihem, go ahead.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
So I came into the program to resolve one issue, and I ended up doing a lot more than that. I had, Dana, I had my fibroids, and I was at fears that I needed to remove my uterus, and this is the main reason that I joined the program. But then now, I don't know if my fibroids went, they're less or not. As long as I don't have the severe symptoms, I haven't tested again, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But actually, what I came out of is that I had a lot of other symptoms that I was just living with, like, the lack of sleep, the insomnia, the night sweats, all that. And I read all your posts and I read everything that I should do something about it. And I haven't been doing anything about it. And this was, transformative for me. I can actually sleep through the night. It's usually that I wake up every 2 hours. And then when the first time, like 1 month into the program, when this happened, it's like, wow, that the following day, it's like how good I feel when I can sleep like 6, 7 hours without waking up every 2 hours. This
Right.
was, something else. I got rid of the night sweats. I can sleep through the night. And this was, for me, was like, life changing in terms of like energy levels and all the benefits that came out of that. Emotionally, I'm much less calmer. The anxiety, I'm not triggered as fast or as easy as I used to be. I can, I can have a provoking conversation
Mm.
and actually not jump into, everyone. Before that, it usually takes 1 minute for me to reach the boiling point.
Yeah.
But actually, right now, no, I can sit through a very provoking conversation and just keep my calm. Everyone is like, they can't believe that I'm actually, that quiet about it. I don't take everything in, or I don't just, jump about that. I'm actually, much more calmer. So that for me is another huge win. And definitely that affected my body, because I'm not going to lie, I do need to lose the weight. I lost some weight. I didn't lose all the weight that I wanted to lose, but I'm not obsessed about it anymore. I still have the scale in my bathroom. I still use it every once in a while. But when I get on the scale and then I see that I didn't lose the weight, I don't really care. It's not that I don't care, but it's not affecting me. It's not making me upset. It's like I look at myself in the mirror. and I like the energy. I like, my skin is better. I like the way I look. I'm not sure if I look different, but maybe I'm just seeing that I look different and I look better, and that's okay with me. So these were really huge wins for me.
If I can make a little observation, I actually saw you, Riham, a few months ago at Aza, and I wanted to come up and say hello.
Oh, really?
But
Okay.
it didn't work. It just for and I can tell you because I saw you and now I see you now. You look completely different.
Okay.
You
Thank
look
you.
completely different. So yes. And then the body cannot heal one problem only. It can't.
Yeah.
It can't.
Hmm.
You come in focused on fibroids or focused on insomnia or focused on thyroid, and it's because maybe it's the one thing that is making your life the most difficult, but you might have 10 other symptoms. And we just sort of think, well, they're not that important or they're not that significant. Or the worst one, you see so many other people around you um with similar symptoms. Like who's not tired? You know what I mean? Who's not tired? Who's not sleeping? Who doesn't have joint pain? Who doesn't have
That,
constant headaches? So many people. So you just think that this is normal since everybody I know around me. And you don't think that there's anything you can do about it because you don't see anybody else doing anything about it. And then lo and behold, you come in to fix your fibroids, and all of a sudden something as seemingly to you, because the fibroids are the bigger issue because of your fear of a surgery. Like when we have
mhm.
insomnia, we're not worried about surgery. It's like, okay, I just
Yeah.
don't sleep. So you focus on the one that can actually have potentially a bigger traumatic impact on your body. But then you see how the body can't let go of other issues. They're not
Hmm.
all going to heal at the same time necessarily, but the body, when you trust the process long enough, will heal every little symptom in due time, each one.
Yeah.
So
That's,
that's incredible. And something all of you here, in case you haven't realized what you've done, all of you here have managed to do something that at some point somebody told you or you've heard about being impossible.
hmm.
From the
That can,
simplest thing, such as giving up coffee. Who around you doesn't say that's impossible? I can't live without coffee. I'm never going to do that. So from the simple impossibilities of giving up certain types of food and drink, okay, to the bigger impossibilities of reversing disease and everything in the middle, all of you have managed to do something that is deemed impossible.
that's true.
If you don't have that awareness around how much um incredible work you've done, let me remind you.
And it feels very empowering, Dana, like when you sit, with someone, like, when it's not Ramadan and people are going out for morning coffee, and you just sit and sip on your celery or smoothie, and it's like you really stop the coffee, and when you see the surprise on people's face, how can you live without that?
Yeah.
It does feel empowering
Yeah.
that, I've done something big.
Yeah. You've done something deemed impossible by everybody around you, potentially.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome. Was that all? Did I
um
for you?
yeah, that's all.
Okay. Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank
Um,
you so much.
I think Reda or Neda were next. You put your hands down. Did you change your minds?
I can go.
Oh, sorry.
Fed, are you going? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Neda, go ahead. Go ahead, Neda.
Okay. Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Um, so for my physical symptom, my biggest win is my hand eczema, which has almost disappeared. It does flare up, and I know when it flares up from Ramadan desserts or
Yeah.
from, waraida benzabedi or things like that. So,
Yeah.
so I know at least what flares it up, and then I start to know like the point of no return, when it's like too many mess ups or too many things that are, um, on the no list in a way. So that's good. And I think the more I stick to it, it should go away.
Hmm.
Along with skin care. I've tried to swap out most skincare things, but I have to do some more.
Okay.
And and then the mindset, I think when you're deciding what to eat, it's no longer like, what do I feel like?
Mm.
Or I need more protein or
Mm.
whatever. It's more, like, okay, what is healing? So that's a good shift. Like, and also the feeling, not the feeling of, I shouldn't have another banana. It's like too many calories or whatever.
Yes.
It's more like, oh, great, another banana that's also more healing for
Yes.
my body. So I think that's all good. And then emotionally, I also think that I'm calmer and more positive. And even my husband said that, um, even like around the kids. I think it's just this feeling of being more in control and not feeling panicky in a way. And in Ramadan, there has been a lot of, like my sleep has been so disrupted. I don't, and there have been a lot of I'm dinner and invited out and everything. But at least I feel like, okay, I know what the plan is. Okay, after Ramadan, I can get back on track. You don't feel at a loss. Like, okay, it's not working. What do I do now? Um, I think it's great. I think it's all very positive. I'm going to be doing a blood test and checking things like cholesterol and my thyroid and made any difference. So we will see.
Inshallah. Yeah, I love how you sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. That's it.
Oh. I was gonna say I love how you just you connected the dots for your body, and your body's not the one that's running the day anymore. You are the one that's there deciding how my body is going to respond today, how my body's going to feel today. And it is, especially with natural foods like fruits, that unnecessary fear around such incredibly healing foods, to be able to switch that, to be able to switch basically from a diet mentality which has you fear quantities and specific foods and calories, and you're just in this like continuous cycle of, am I eating too much? Am I eating, if am I going to gain weight if I eat all this? To be able to come to the realization that is it healing or not? Because that's the question, right? It's not about the calories, it's not about the quantities. It's about how is my body going to react to this food. And with your eczema, you have a direct, some of you have more symptoms that might take a little bit longer to show, but with skin conditions specifically, it can show up directly. So again, such an empowering feeling to know that, oh, well, my eczema flare-up was okay because of the wara anab and yogurt I had yesterday. How empowering is that? Even, even though you might not like seeing the eczema flare-up, but knowing the source of that and knowing that it's up to you to either keep going and eating the wara inab and the yogurt that might make the flare-ups worse, or it's totally up to you to get rid of the flare-up by what you eat. So a whole incredible level of empowerment. And please let me know the results of the tests. Let's see how that goes.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Reda, you can go ahead now.
Yes, Dana. I thought when I started this program, I came for my fatty liver only
Mm.
and to lose some weight.
Yeah.
And the wins that I had, and I did not like targeted in the beginning, but I found out that I could stop my tea and shai belaban. Of course, the like number one, everybody's saying coffee. It's my shai belaban,
Yes.
and everybody knows you cannot talk to Rada until she got her shai belaban.
Okay.
Yeah. So I stopped it. I managed to stop. And the milk that I could not ever think that I will stop drinking milk every day. Yes, it's lactose-free milk, but still milk.
Yes.
But I stopped it totally. I stopped all my medication, just the chronic ones, which is like blood thinner, and the one for my heart case.
Right.
So this is the only ones that I'm taking right now. I stopped my antidepressant one. I stopped every supplement I was taking. Yet I'm feeling very energetic,
Yes.
and I don't need it. Even magnesium. You said you can take magnesium, the first thing that you can take, and so on.
Yeah.
I even stopped magnesium, and I'm feeling great. I can sleep. My body's energy. It's wonderful. The thing is, emotionally, I feel like I can take anything, any challenges, and I will win.
Mhm.
Yes. And I did not have this feeling before that I can do it. I can take care of myself as I'm taking care of everyone around me, but not myself.
Mhm.
So I started to take care of myself. I start to forgive myself of eating wrong or not the right food. So self forgiveness, which I've never had before. I always blame myself of anything that I'm doing. This is wrong because you did this and that, this and that.
Mm.
But now, when anybody is seeing me, oh, you're eating whatever. Yes, it's okay. Yeah, yeah, I know, I could do it. I could do this today and tomorrow. I know that how can I do the opposite, or I can control it. So this is, I think, this is all, and I feel great. I feel I'm capable of taking care of myself. I forgive myself, and I love the way Hind is talking to her liver, and I will start do this to my organs. I will talk to them. They
Yes.
need. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's beautiful way, and congratulations,
Yes.
really.
Yeah.
So
Habibti, thank you.
wallahi, really, I loved it. Yes.
So,
And thank you for taking care of all of us also in the group.
لا حبيبتي. You're welcome.
Thank you. And one more benefit that we got from this group, that we knew each other and we are supporting each other in a way that, you know, we're helping, you know. So thank you so much.
lovely. I mean, this is so, so, so miraculous, Reda. It's miraculous, right? There's nothing short of a miracle when you can say I've come off all of my medications. And who is it? Dina. Dina's also here. Dina's come off her heart medications. She's come off her thyroid medications. Um,
Wow.
yeah, everything is possible, ladies. Everything. God did not create faulty bodies. He
True.
did not send us down with, defective spare parts. Whatever happens, we know better now, but whatever has happened before was a direct result, direct cause and effect. So keep at it, Reda. I can feel it. I'm sure you all can feel her energy, the way she's transformed love for herself, the way she's transformed her health entirely. The body, like I said, cannot heal one thing and leave one thing still lingering. It might take longer, right? It might take a bit more for the regeneration process to happen for those. And there might be some things where you might not come off the medication for. There are some things you might need to. So don't, but I'm sure you're not, because you've come to such a high level of self-awareness and self-love. If you find yourself not being able to, it's fine. If you've come off all of these and you end up with like blood thinners finally, and that's all you need to take, you have done again the impossible. What everybody told you is impossible, you've accomplished.
Well, I cannot stop now my blood thinner unless I do my test and check how
Oh,
it is, and then maybe I will take the decision with my doctor.
there you go.
So I'm just yeah, I will after Ramadan, inshallah, I will do my test and see if I can stop them or not. So it's only time.
It's only time. Amazing. And I love that you're just, it's just time. It's not any
Yeah.
other issue. It's not
No,
my
no, no.
mindset. It's
It's
not,
not
is it
me.
possible? Yes. It's just,
Finally, it's not me because
yes,
before it was always me who is doing wrong.
yes.
But Alhamdulillah, finally I
Alhamdulillah.
realized it's not me. It's
No,
not me.
no. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you
Amazing.
so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Reda.
so, so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me just see a couple of the messages in the chats. Maria, physical. My period came after 24 days, first time in like 3 years. So this is this month, Maria, after you told me it was 21, 21, and then it was
Yes,
24.
yes, yes. Second month.
And the flow is much better because it used to come like every 2 weeks for 20 days. Emotional, I am much calmer and definitely less angry and more aware of my emotions. And who wouldn't love
Yeah.
to be able to say, as several of you have, that I'm much calmer and less angry and more aware of my emotions? especially as women, that emotions are really at the root cause of how we eat. We can look
Yeah.
at it in many different ways. Definitely there's the physical issues, but the physical issues develop as a result of the way you're eating. And for so many women, I want to say almost all women, the way we eat is directly related to how we feel, what we feel, and whether or not we process those feelings. When you finally are able to say, I'm much calmer, I'm less angry. I mean, those are some of the emotions that can trigger emotional eating. When you're anxious, when you're angry, when you're sad, when you're depressed, being just more aware of that means that's a whole nother level of empowerment. Whole other level, right? Physical and the emotional have to go hand in hand. And I'm 100% certain, Maria, that with time, your period will reach its natural flow, its natural cycle of what works best for you and your body. As with everything else and everybody else in the group, it's just a matter of time. And
Yeah.
definitely you've been one of the ones who had a bit more challenges than others. So I want to commend you also.
I was very impressed with all the inflammation in my body that came out with the detox. I always thought I was very healthy and
Yeah.
I didn't eat bread or pasta or, but actually it seems I have a lot in my body hidden inside, which is, I'm very, I'm thankful for this, that
Yes.
it's coming out through my
Yes.
skin, through my wisdom tooth, through my pain. I don't know.
Yes.
Very strange stuff coming out, but
Purge, a big
yeah,
purge. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Body needs to purge in order to heal. And you've done it. You've
yeah.
sat with the discomfort. Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you.
You're welcome. Inji. Another big win for me, which I forgot to mention, is constipation. I was prescribed laxative for life, and I was using them every day since I started the program. Haven't used once. Another impossibility checked off. Done. Amazing. Mabruk. And Nada, I also wanted to say that I don't miss caffeine and feel like I don't want to go back to it because I like the feeling of being aware of my real hunger and sleep cues, right? Anything that numbs us or gives us, false hunger cues, energy cues. I mean, caffeine also masks your true energy, right? You feel like you're great when you've got it, but are you really? So, again, I think all of these pieces of awareness, Nada and everybody who you're sharing, write these down, ladies, today, or go back and watch this and write these down. You don't want to forget what you're saying today. You don't want to forget how you're feeling today. I would write it down, record it, speak it back to yourself because life is going to throw curveballs and there's going to be times when you're going to feel like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. You need to remind yourself of why. So write down what you're saying today. Come back and listen to this at a moment when you might feel like you need that push or you need that motivation because everything that you're saying, all of you ladies today is what's the word? I can't find it. Beyond brilliant, beyond motivational. You have, and I'm going to keep saying it, accomplished the impossible. Sally. Unfortunately, I can't open my mic right now as I'm at work, but I wanted to express my gratitude for your time and effort in handling our questions and sessions. I truly appreciate and I'm grateful for this experience, Dana. You are very, very welcome, Sally. Although I'm out of the track a bit during Ramadan, especially with desserts, I'm feeling better, alhamdulillah. My sleep, breathing, and water retention have improved. I've also gained a better understanding of how my body reacts to specific foods, knowing what works best for me and what doesn't. Key, really knowing that. And it's such seemingly small pieces of information, but they're the ones that make all the difference to your health. What works and what doesn't work. Very simple concept. And remember what we said at the beginning of this process, that it's not necessarily easy, but it's simple, right? Like, what have we done? We just took out the inflammatory foods and put in healing foods. That was it. It was nothing complicated. Not easy, but simple. Figure out what works and what doesn't for you. Even though this is my second round with you, I joined this time because I felt that my health needed it. especially after I know that I have H. pylori. I've noticed a connection between my health and my emotions, mood, skin, and joint pain. The body is one incredibly connected machine. There's nothing that happens in your body, in one part of your body, that's not connected to some other part of your body. There's nothing that heals, like I said, in one part that cannot heal another part. It's all related, exactly as you said, Sally. Emotions, mood, skin, joint pain, all goes back to what you're feeding yourself physically and what you're feeding yourself emotionally. I'm proud that everyone around me knows I'm in a detox program. They often say they can't stop drinking coffee or milk and they wonder how I can stop eating those foods. I just tell them that I've learned to enjoy without them. عادي. Guys, this is just me now. This is the new me, right? This is my new normal. I love it. That's amazing, Sally. And you can see that sometimes it takes two rounds. I've had women who've joined me two, three, four. I have a lady who's joined me 6 times to keep herself in the energy. And every single time she comes in, she discovers something new about herself, something new about her physical abilities, something new about her emotional abilities. So sometimes you might need that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, it is a lifelong journey. And I love this. I love your last sentence. I tell them I've learned to enjoy without them. عادي. Like piece of cake, guys. Hind, go ahead,
Yeah, hi. I want to share some more things كده I just remembered now.
please.
First of all, oh yeah, my skin was not one of the things that I was really um, obsessed about when I came to the program. But I've been noticing like people keep commenting about how my skin is glowing. Like they
Yes.
say, "Oh my God, you're so glowing."
Yes.
Like people who haven't seen me in a very long time, or even people who see me regularly but not on daily basis. That's a thing. Another a huge observation that I just came up with because I practiced many ways of fasting before,
Mm.
and this time was the first time to fast with a healed liver when my liver was doing much better in the beginning.
Yeah.
I noticed that I dropped weight instantly. I was very energetic. I was super happy while I was fasting.
Mm.
Like I was on dopamine pills.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And this never happened to me before. Like I would push myself through it and feel the fatigue and, you know, and I wouldn't even drop weight. Like I finally started dropping. Like I could see that how when the liver heals, everything becomes so easy
Yeah.
after that.
Yes.
It like it's a domino effect, you know, like everything
Yes.
happens.
Yes.
So this time was a huge, it was intriguing actually for me to see that. And also speaking of the challenging part and people and how they feel around you, I have to admit that as much as I did love natural food, but I hated standing in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That was one of my biggest challenges ever.
Mm. Mm.
So I relied mostly on nuts
Mm.
and fruits and veggies, but not cooking style.
Okay.
But in the program, I've learned something immense that not because a food is healthy means it's good for you.
Yes.
This is something like if anything is healthy, then I can eat it and I should eat it. But I realized that no, my body was unable to break down all these fats because my liver wasn't doing well
Yes.
and I was overloading the liver. So that was also a huge observation for me. Not necessarily because something is good or healthy means that I have to eat it or that it's serving me.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
could still not eat it for the rest of my life and be happy.
Right? Maybe
Yeah.
even happier.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, something very funny and ironic at the same time. Speaking of people and how they see you, like my mom, مثلا when I called her from Cairo, telling her, mommy, أنا جاية بقى, because هما they live in Alex. فقلت لها بقى bring me the fruits. So I gave her the list of the fruits. She was like, oh no, you're still gonna do that every single day.
Nobody believes it's long term.
When I tell her this is a lifestyle بتبص لي بمockery كده لو انت مجنونة يعني
Yeah.
لايف ستايل ايه ده اللي هتفضلي فيه كده طبعا we have these daily debates about اللي هي شايفة مثلا when I'm having any symptoms, why aren't you taking medication مش عارفة ايه. بس خلاص يعني طبعا that's the daily
Yes.
argument. My closest friend started avoiding me at some point because my healing was triggering her, my commitment.
Mm.
And that is something she admitted after a few weeks of being very weird, because she lives on top of me and she's really, really close. And I noticed that at some time she completely avoided any interaction with me. And when we confronted each other and we had a talk, and she was like, "You're so full on in your healing to a point it's bringing up my shadow side. So it's too difficult to deal with it."
Yes.
But at the same time, she keeps telling me how proud she is of me, and everybody keeps acknowledging like the amount of work I'm putting and effort I'm putting in my healing. And this is very empowering to hear people tell me that, because sometimes even though we're doing the thing ourselves, we are not aware of our strength. We're not aware of how our resilience.
Mhm.
We think like we're doing something and that's it. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that huge, you know, but it is. It is, because when you see yourself through other people's eyes, you start to realize that no, I am doing something that is huge.
You are doing something that
To a
is,
point that now, despite
go ahead. No,
come
go
again,
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
to a point now that even though I'm still, despite not being able to quit smoking, which I'm not in love with now, but to a point that I'm forgiving myself. If that is the only thing I still cannot give up, there will come a time when I'll be able to do that.
Yes.
Me too يا هند.
So I'm
والله
not
I'm trying.
Yes.
مش
I will
مش
focus on
قادرة أسيبها. The only thing I'm doing, yeah, Dana, the only I'm saying to myself is the only thing wrong I'm doing.
Right. Remind yourselves, though, 3 months ago, okay, right now you're saying, I can't do it. I can't do it. That's what you were saying about coffee, bread, pasta. Like that's what you were saying about all these other things. And maybe just 6 months ago, forget beginning of the program. And and I know because women have told me they've been following me and took them 5 years to join my program because they know that once they join, in order to be successful, they're going to have to stop drinking coffee. And they'll tell me I'm never going to do it. I can't do it. It's the only thing I do. It's can't I just keep it? I don't do anything else. So just remind yourself of how powerful you are because a few months ago you were saying the same thing, the same sentence, just insert the different, product, the different thing you were consuming. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with going through the process of healing bit by bit, right? You've done an incredible chunk of work already and healing your body with foods. The next step, just remind yourself, it is mindset. It is a mindset. The same way that you thought you couldn't do any of this 3 months ago, now your critter brain is telling you, you know what? You've done so much. كفاية بقى. It's just the one little thing that you do. It's only a few cigarettes a day. Like, so what? What's going to happen? Start to be aware of that.
It's a mental game, to
It's
be
a
honest.
mental game. It's a
It's a
mental
mental game. This is
It's a mental.
how your mind is talking to you that you should be scared or you can't.
Yeah.
It's a barrier. But I think with my case, I know it's a mental game. This is how it plays inside.
Yeah. I mean, with all of you, right? Everything you've reached up until today has been 90% mindset shift. And then the 10% of just applying the process. Okay. So don't, go back and do a thought model on this just to reframe the thought of I can't quit cigarettes. You might not go and start tomorrow, but just start to reframe the thought. And I wanted to say something about what you were saying about your friend. So everybody, all of us have been mocked, have been shunned, have had people keep their distance from us because of this. And what your friend, which is amazing, she's so skillfully observed that it's not that you are healing, it's that you are showing her where she's weak And she's not able to handle her own weakness. And this is what happens with anybody who mocks you. It's not about you. It's not that you are working to heal. It's not that you've stopped your coffee. It's not that you go to a coffee morning with your celery juice, because you are a reminder to them to what extent they are unable to step up in their own lives. It might not even be about health, but you remind them that there's something they know, it's nagging at them in the back of their minds. There's something they should be taking action on. It could be health, it could be something else. And they're feeling the fear and they're procrastinating and they're fighting for their limiting beliefs and doing nothing, while here you are and going full on. And that's why people will keep a distance, not because there's something wrong with you, but they feel their own lack in that instance. And then the only thing you can really do is continue to take care of yourself and heal yourself and lead by example. You never know who's watching you from afar, even if they think what you're doing is crazy, even if you feel, they're mocking you, you never know who you're influencing, and you never know who's going to come around and say, okay, show me what you did.
Yeah. Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome. Let me see. Red, what can we drink sometimes instead of celery juice? Cucumber juice is the direct replacement for when, especially in Egypt, when celery starts becoming awful tasting. You can have celery juice. You can create your own green juices by now. There is an alternative, a substitute green juice recipe in your eating schedule. I think at the very bottom of that document where I have substitutes, you can add celery, apples, lemon, spinach. You can make any kind of variation of green juice that you want. It's all gonna work. Rihem, you mentioned ancient beliefs, and this is something I learned to break through. Like my mom would fight with me every day for the amount of dates I'm eating and how this is not right if I want to lose weight. And of course, it's not easy to change her mindset, but I tried to explain what you said and what we learned. And then I told her, let's agree to disagree. Exactly. You can't change anybody. You can't change in any issue in life unless they want to change. Dina, I feel happier, energetic. I have more self-confidence. I stopped my thyroid and heart meds. Anytime somebody stops meds for me, it's as if I'm hearing it for the first time. It's as if the miracle of healing is being explained to me to the first time when anybody says yes. My inflammation is almost gone. I don't crave anything any longer. Friends are telling me that I'm glowing. I'm one proud woman that am capable of healing and having self-control. I think I will not go back to the old me or what I used to eat. I don't like it anymore. I don't like it anymore. Yeah. Why would you go back? Right? It's your new ID, like Sally said. ID. This is it. And also, to Hind's point, when it becomes ID, yes, we do have a tendency to downplay the effort we took to get to this new normal. So definitely, this is why I say keep replaying this. Don't take your efforts and your new normal for granted ever, no matter how ID it starts to feel. Dina, it's a bit special because I've known Dina for a very, 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 very long time. So I'm obviously incredibly proud of everybody who goes through this journey. But when there's somebody I know a little bit more on a personal level and I feel like they've benefited, it's a little bit, there's a little bit more for me, So Dina, I'm so, so happy for you. Um, and it's amazing. I can't believe it. Dina was somebody who, I think, Dina, correct me if I'm wrong. One of these people who for a long time was like, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? But I love to eat this, I love to eat that. And then look at where she is now, right, Dina?
Yes,
I mean,
I was thinking about it for a whole year
a
before I
year.
decided, "Okay, I'm gonna make it. Nothing will let me not." Yeah, I don't know. That's it. I have to take a chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so proud of myself.
You should be. You should be so proud of yourself, all of you. This is amazing, Dina. Congratulations. Um, Hint, can we mix celery juice and cucumber for the morning juice? Yes, you can. Also, my gums are bleeding heavily and I'm a bit concerned. Do I have to check them or is that 100% detox? It could be a detox symptom, but if it's something that is not letting up, so let's say it's been going on for a while, it's not letting up, then I would definitely go check to make sure it's not something else. But if it's something that sometimes on and off, if you see that it increases around your period, right? Detox symptom. If it's something that is literally every single day, every single time you brush your teeth for weeks on end, I don't know how long it's been happening for you, go and get it checked out. Sally, sometimes I mix fruits and greens randomly based on what I have. Are there specific ingredients that should be combined, or is it fine to mix them? For fruits, mix the fruits. There's lots of theories about that. I have never separated my fruits. I just eat my fruits. Um, Dana, what's your opinion on cavitation sessions to try and help break down fat cells? The DM, what is that? Send me a link. Never heard of this before in my life. Cavitation? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's something I don't. It's something that they use. They move it on your. It's like ultrasound waves. They move it on your legs, on your tummy, and then they say that it helps break down. You drink lots of water and fluids after that, and they say that it helps break down your fat cells. I'm not sure. I'm just asking you if you. What's
I
your
mean,
take
I've
on
I've
that?
heard of things. I've never heard the term cavitation, so I'm not sure. Maybe that's just what's throwing me off. But what I have heard in terms of these is, if it's the same thing I'm thinking of, is that the fat cells might get stuck and regrow very strangely in other parts of the body.
Oh, okay,
Yes. If
okay,
it's the same
okay,
thing that I've come across. Yes.
mhm, okay.
Maria, today is my juicing day, but if I skipped it, will I lose all the efforts put in the last 8 days? No, not at this point, Maria, right? You've been doing this for months, right? At this point, you have, because you've put in the work into following the system very well at the beginning, now you have the freedom of experimentation. Now you have the freedom of creating sort of your own rhythm with this. You will not lose anything that you've done. Which is better to use for dairy-free milk, almond, or coconut? Coconut is the better of the two, but in both cases, if you're buying commercial, you want to make sure in the ingredients you don't have added sugars, added seed oils, or added carrageenan in both. Either one. Yasmin, you just joined us. Hello. We are sharing our wins today. So we would love for you to share for us what has been a physical win for you. So symptoms that have been reversed, medication you might have come off, sharing an emotional or, psychological win for you, and then sharing a belief that has shifted for you since the beginning of the program to now. Something about belief systems around aging, around health, around medicine, anything at all that you used to believe in it one way, and now that's changed for you. And I think everybody has shared by now. So yeah, Yasmin, you're the last one to share with us. Sally, what do you think about IV sessions that contain vitamin C and other vitamins? I don't recommend them at all. I think we talked about this a few sessions ago. You are not deficient in any supplement, much less an IV supplement. These are literally created to make you feel like, you can't feel better on your own. You need to have an outside source come in and give you energy or give you focus or whatever they are, and they are just a lot of money for something that does not have a sustainable effect. Start with your food foundation first. Once you've created that, I mean, look at Reda. Reda doesn't even take magnesium, which is what I recommend. She doesn't need it. When you have a strong food foundation, supplements are absolutely almost 99% unnecessary. Oh, Zainab, sorry, we haven't gone yet. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, just give me one moment.
Okay. I will share the replay for this session after for tonight, ladies, and then in the same post, I will also share the link for the entire YouTube playlist. All right. So I will tag everybody on the post as soon as we're done. Please make sure to save the link for the playlist. You don't need to save the link for this class, but you need to save the link for the entire playlist if you wish to go back and watch any of the other sessions again. Zainab, ready?
Hey, yes.
Go ahead.
So I would say my symptoms are acne, IBS, PCOS. And for me, ever since we started, like every single time I mess up.
Zainab, you're chopping up. Is everybody seeing that she's chopping up, or is it just me?
Yes, yes, it's cutting.
Yeah.
Something
Zainab?
like that is not very healthy.
Zainab,
I find
do you
acne
mind?
all over my body.
Sorry, Zainab, do you mind
Aside from the
restarting?
fact that actually I do have acne as a symptom of cleanse.
Okay, let's just wait for her. Maybe she needs to restart. Zainab.
Can you hear me better now? Oh.
Okay. You want to try again?
I think now I reconnected.
Yes, you are. Yeah, maybe keep your camera off.
Yeah.
Go,
Just
go
one
ahead.
moment.
Mm.
I have to go outside. I'm sorry,
No
because I'm at
problem.
work.
No problem at all.
So yeah, I was seeing my acne, my chronic conditions, and actually my struggle with food and all of this is very different from everybody here.
Mm.
Because for me, I never had food. Like literally, I could go on for days and days without having any food. To the extent that sometimes when I'm fasting, I forget that I'm fasting. So it's like 10 p.m. and I check, okay, what I had for iftar. And then I remember that I had nothing. I didn't break my
Is
fast.
is this because is it intentional or you're very busy with what you're doing, so you're preoccupied or you what? How does this work for you?
Actually, it's both. And one of the things I really didn't feel like mentioning ever before, but because here, like I see the support and how everybody's encouraging everybody. I have had anorexia ever since I was a kid.
Okay.
So for me, my relationship with food is already toxicated with, I don't want to eat, I don't want to eat.
Mm.
And this is something over the years I found that every single time I'm sharing with somebody, they sort of, even my friends, they don't take it in a way that they understand, which I totally get it. Like, not everybody have to be educated on what anorexia is and how it's affecting everybody. But it's like every single time I really wanted to, like, I felt like sharing and I started sharing, they would go like, okay, so I don't understand. Why don't you just eat?
Mm.
And for me, that was like a sort of a, a break in the background
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I spent like almost an hour explaining to you yeah, my relationship with food. And then you come and tell me, why don't you eat? So over the years, it just affected like everything, like my mental health, because I tend not to share it. And it's on every little thing. Like ever since we started the program, I don't get the mockery of, okay, why were you able to stop? Blah, blah, blah. I get another type of mockery, which is, so you don't eat, now you eat just that food. Are you trying to disappear or something? Or, that kind of mockery every single time and every single, whether it's a corporate event, whether it's like at the house. Like yesterday, I was actually at the corporate event, and then I was telling them, okay, so I took my smoothie, and then I was like, I don't eat. I'm sorry. I just have my smoothie. And for iftar, they were having seafood,
Mm.
so they had that guy at the restaurant just like chopping up one shrimp, and then they literally made him feed me like, okay, you have to take this shrimp. And for me, it's like, okay, it's crazy. Like, and I don't know, like every single time you cannot eat and I cannot, I cannot tell people that I'm not eating just because of, my history and my relationship with eating. But the thing is, I found myself recently with the program, with the support, with what everybody's doing, is that I'm actually doing much better, like I do not care as much and I do not try to explain anymore. Because I found that the more I explain,
Yeah.
the more they tend to, I think I'm lagging.
No, you're fine. Keep talking.
You hear me, right?
Yes, completely.
Yeah. So I feel like the more I explain, the more people gets, I don't want to say something bad, but let's say rude,
Right.
like more rude.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's like everything was not helping. And at some time, especially at the very beginning of the program, like the first month, I was like, okay, I'm gonna quit. That's it.
Mm.
I'm not gonna continue.
Mm.
For me, I'm not eating anyways. And one of the things was the fact that I was never able to get all of the food that are prescribed by you every single day. And I told you this before, like I have my morning smoothie and I finish it
Yeah.
by like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So for me, having the celery smoothie and then the celery lemon juice before sleeping was a huge win for me.
Mm.
Right now, it's totally different. I'm not gonna lie and see and tell that I feel a huge shift at my symptoms. I still have most of my symptoms, but I think because of my I would assume that my body's taking longer time to heal because it have never had any food.
Of course.
So for me, I now accept, like this is one of the most huge wins I had from the program this time, is the fact that I accept that my body is actually taking longer to process. Because every single time, especially when I joined before, I was like, okay, 1, 2, 3 weeks, if I didn't see a change, I'm not gonna continue. But this time it's different. I accept the fact that, okay, my body's different. I might not have the sort of a very positive, kind of shift in my symptoms, or okay, I see myself much, much better now. And I still accept that every single day I'm gonna eat this way. I still accept that every single day, okay, I'm improving.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be a huge improvement.
Yes.
I feel also it shifted my relations with food, because when you realize, okay, I'm nourishing my body, I should nourish my body. Because I discovered, and this is something I talked with my therapist, I discovered that along the way was the way everybody was reacting, my parents, everybody around me, I felt like eating is pointless. I had an internal belief that eating is pointless, and I cannot stress enough on how this actually transformed everything for me. Like it was a game changer. And I discovered this like 3, 4 weeks ago. For me, I was journaling down, okay, so what happened? And it was one of those, kind of moments where I had everybody, especially people mocking me about my way of eating, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, as I kept journaling, I discovered that I literally wrote down, because food is pointless. And was one of the things I really had, like, internally. I believe eating and drinking and all of what we are doing as humans is pointless. Like, I don't know why people is doing it. And for me, that was, I don't know, like life changing. Like, I really have to thank you for this. And I have to thank everybody, because seeing like everyone showing up every single day and seeing that there are people out there who actually thinks that this is working, who actually thinks that, yes, we have to eat in a certain way. We have to eat fruits and veggies. I'm not gonna die if I don't eat animal protein, which is something I really want to, like, I really want to establish an association for people, especially in Egypt. So for me, I have to thank everybody for that. Like, and me sharing that I have anorexia, I haven't said that for years. I was even too ashamed to write it down to Dana in the email. Like, for me, I just texted, like, I really want to talk to you after like one of the sessions, because I felt like, oh my God, I cannot share this. Like, no, 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 I'm not gonna share it. So for me right now, it's sort of acceptance of the fact that, oh, it's okay. Like, you can share it. And I have to thank everybody for that. Like, literally, like, today I didn't have any intention of sharing this. I didn't have any intention of sharing anything at all. because especially at the very beginning, because I felt like I was gonna be the naked of the day. But right now, just I felt like it, so I just did it. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dana, so much.
Um, I've got goosebumps everywhere, and um, I don't know what to tell you. I feel like I'm so happy for you that you feel that you have all this support here, that you feel safe here. And I think I need to reiterate that you feel very, very safe here now and in the future. Um, you're so young to have gone through all of this and then to still be in the process and to come to these incredible awarenesses about yourself. I can only imagine how this is going to, bolster you through the rest of your life. I hope that you can, um, I don't know. I feel like and I hardly ever say this, guys, like I want to punch everybody around you. I always say, please be kind to people who criticize you. Please have some empathy that you might have been where they are at some point. But there are some things that are just not to be said. There are just some ways to not hurt feelings. And unfortunately, you had to go through that in a way that nobody should. You don't have to explain yourself. Just as a side note, you never have to explain yourself. Um, and to cut conversations short, but something that has worked for me and some lots of my clients is just to say doctor's orders. That typically ends conversations, ends criticism, ends mockery, for future because you're in this process for a while. Um, and and coming to the realization when you say food is pointless, eating is pointless, drinking is basically nurturing yourself. This is what that means, right? At some level, for whatever reason, you felt like nurturing yourself was pointless. That's what it means. Like giving myself love through food, love through self-care is pointless. This is out of my scope, obviously, but this is something very important for you to pursue with your therapist when we talk about emotions, this is why we talk about emotions with women and emotional eating. Why do you feel like it was pointless for you to nurture yourself? This is a key awareness for this. I think I speak for all of us when I say that thank you for making us feel like we support you and care about you and that you felt safe enough to share this with us. And you are incredibly courageous for sharing all of this with us and for going through this journey. We're all here for you, whatever you need. Thank you, Zainab. Thank you.
Dana, I have something to tell Zainab, please.
Me
Please
too.
do.
وانا
I
كمان
was
وانا
hoping you would.
كمان
I was
me
hoping you
too.
would.
Yes, all of us, please, please.
Yes, I want to
Anybody, of
say
course,
something.
chime in.
Okay, first of all, Zainab, I really want to tell you, yani, congratulations for finally coming out of the closet. I've had anorexia also for years. Now I'm 38. And I've had it since I was very young also. And I've lived all of my 20s and even mid 30s and all of my teens in deprivation, starvation, taking appetite suppressants, every single drug on the market. I even went to extreme measurements to suppress my appetite. I've done every single thing and I went to therapy for years and I never talked to my therapist about having an eating disorder. I would tell them all the other symptoms. When they would ask me, do you have any problem with food? I was like, of course not. because because recovering from an eating disorder meant to me in my mind that I would gain weight. And that was something that was highly unacceptable. But the point is, the thing is that I've come to understand after years and years and years of healing and self-awareness and realizing that at some point, even when you starve yourself, you don't drop. And sometimes your body becomes very stubborn with you, and it actually gives you the opposite result. And sometimes even when you drop way too much, you become very unhealthy and very lethargic to a point that you're not even enjoying it. So at the times when I reached the skeleton-like figure, I would look at myself in the mirror and count my bones and ask myself, do I now feel better? And my answer was definitely 100% not. I feel very miserable. So it didn't make any difference in terms of feeling better or worse. But I've come to really, really understand that the root cause of anorexia is a very deep need, emotional need for diminishment. You want to become invisible to the world. You don't want to be seen because at a very deep level down in your heart, you have a lot of self-loathing and a lot of shame um, about yourself that resulted from a lot of experiences in the past and your childhood that led you in a way to want to just disappear. And this is how you're vocalizing your need. This is how you're saying it, that I'll stop feeding myself, I will stop taking in any food or drink or whatever so that I can die slowly. So it's basically also a slow death wish. It's a hidden death wish and a slow suicide. That's what it is. And I agree 100% that it's one hell of a loner journey. You become very lonely on that journey because, as you say, people see food that it's something that's it's a daily thing and a daily need and an instinct. And they don't understand you when you tell them you have a struggle with food. They mock you or they just avoid you or they give you very silly answers so you feel worse and you hide it. It's very shameful, you know. And I've gone through the pain of that. And I also fluctuated between anorexia and bulimia, and it was really, really, really bad and very painful. And it took me years until at some point last year, I had a very tough experience. It was a very traumatic experience. And at this point, when my whole body got inflamed and I gained a lot of uncontrollable weight gain, and the fear bad started kicking in, and the panic, and oh my God, this is completely out of my control. And then I had to find a way to become comfortable under my own skin on my own. I had to really, really figure out a way for myself to accept my body and to love me regardless by not placing my value on my weight or my shape or size. Because at some point I realized that I'm placing my human value on a letter on the gene. If it's the letter S or X small or M or large, oh my God, that is my value. That is my worth. If I'm wearing X small jeans, then I'm super worthy. If I'm wearing large jeans, then I'm a piece of shit. And that's definitely a lie. That's a lie we tell ourselves because it's usually our mind is trying to protect us from deeper, much deeper pain, much deeper emotional pain. And it's disguised in the story of the body weight and the body image. I hope this helps. And I'm there for you also if you need to talk about it because
Thank
I
you.
know how.
Thank you so much for sharing all of this. It
You're
really means
welcome.
a lot.
You're welcome.
Zainab, أنا كمان I have eating disorder. I've been like this for 3 years. It just I am scared to eat to gain weight, so I would scale myself every morning, and if I took like 500 grams, I would go crazy. And طبعا I went through all losing friends, losing outings, losing even my mental state was not stable. And then since I think 2 years ago, my health starting dropping very sharp, and I didn't know what's wrong I did. And I thought that I was very healthy and eating healthy things, just not eating more frequent or a lot. It really hurt me. And للأسف I realized it when it hurt me and it hit me. I just want to tell you that you're not alone. يعني.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. It really means a lot to get.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Maria and Hind, really for
I can
supporting
understand.
Zainab.
Like, I don't blame it for. Yes, I don't blame it on people. But eating disorder is just the kind of sort of a disorder that doesn't show. Like it doesn't show in you being sad. It doesn't show in emotions that people can see.
Yeah.
And I believe our beliefs here in Egypt regarding food, regarding drinks, regarding everything makes it much, much harder for people to accept, even young generation as us. Because at the very beginning, I thought that my friends who are my age would understand this better than my mom, would understand this better than the people who are actually mocking me every single time I'm going into a dining table with our relatives, with the people I'm working with everyone. But I just realized that, and I came to actually the sort of acceptance that of the fact that not all people are educated. And even if I can't change the whole world around me, because I tried to do that for a very long time, I tried to change everybody's perspective, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep educating people about anorexia and food disorders, because what I was hearing was horrible. It was not okay. There are a lot of things that I really don't feel like sharing now because I can't like burst out crying, but I don't know. I just right now accept the fact that not everybody will be educated, and I just have helped myself through whatever it is. And thank you again for sharing. I know it takes a lot of courage and a lot of things to emotions to share that. Thank you.
Very, very, very powerful. Hind and Maria and Zainab, and really all you can do is to prioritize yourself. Whoever has the willingness to understand will understand. Whoever has the willingness to be educated will be educated. Whoever is in your same situation and is ready to be helped, you are going to be an incredible inspiration for them. So this is all you can do, is just to focus on yourself and prioritize yourself and be unapologetically you in every way. Um, where is she? Yasmin,
Yes. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. I don't know what to say. I have to say that I have fibromyalgia. That's my problem. And I wanted to lose some weight.
Yeah.
Resistant weight. I was thin entire my life, yani. And then I gained about 10 to 12 kilos like this over the years.
Yeah.
And it's very resistant from 3 or 4 years. I
Yeah.
can't lose any weight.
Yeah.
Even if I lose, it came back. I lose and it came back. I did the detox with you, the hormone detox, the first time you did it.
Yes.
You remember the
Yeah.
first time you did it? I was in the group that you tried with them, and you said that you are trying with us, and you
That
will.
was five years ago, 6 years ago.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And I I can admit that this time, Taman, it's much, much better for me. The knowledge is easier. Of course, because through the years, Bardo, I did another detox, and from 2 years, I started to do the water fasting yearly, each year.
Yeah.
So I am a bit يعني, on the wave كده with you. But I'm not so proud of myself this time because I'm not committed as I want to be. I started late than you, all of them, because I was traveling, and I stopped early because of my father issue and the hospital and the ICU. But even if I can admit that there is a difference, طبعا. I did a deep detox for only 1 month.
Okay.
I stayed for 1 month in the deep detox. Few times I eat protein. It's يعني few times, yeah. But I was eating vegetables and fruits all the time. I felt a huge difference. I was glowing. This is the most thing that everybody was saying. I was glowing, and I lost weight. The resistant weight, not all the weight, but I started to lose weight, and this is a surprise for me because even if I did diet before, I didn't lose even a kilo. Now I lost 4 kilos during this month or month and a half, and it's a huge achievement for me. About my symptoms, as I told you before, the fibromyalgia symptoms for me are very confusing. I don't know when I don't feel the attacks as people say. I feel that when I do much effort, I get fatigue for 1 day or 2 days, and then I'll be okay. I live with it, and I'm familiar with the symptoms. Few pains, few muscle spasm. I did physiotherapy all the time. I do lymph drainage, and I'm living with that. Um, I can't. I'm a bit confused, still confused about the symptoms. I didn't experience during the deep detox. I didn't experience so much symptoms in the detox. Few symptoms, it's very trivial, but not such vomiting or I didn't have any of these. I don't know this is good or bad if I really detoxed or not, but I didn't feel so much symptoms.
Yeah.
But I felt طبعا during the deep detox months that I have more energy, that I didn't feel the fatigue like before. But unfortunately, when I came back to my routine, I told you that I lost weight, and I started to eat half normal. يعني I never take coffee خلاص. I never take يعني a lot of things I stopped, but a few times I can take a dessert, I can take gluten يعني milk in something يعني sugar. خلاص I started to be to my يعني normal life يعني. I know that normal life is not a good word. But I started to
You know
be
what I'm
like
going to say.
before. Yes. I started to be more to felt fatigue, to feel that I became bloated. The glowing gun is gone. That's why I'm not very proud, because I came back to my normal life before. It wasn't so bad. As I told you, I stopped coffee from the 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And sometimes I came back and sometimes I stop. But the usual, I don't take coffee. And I take lemon juice, lemon water daily, except few days. But the normal for me is the lemon juice. I take cucumber juice. I can't take the celery, but I take the cucumber juice daily for years. But the relationship with food is still. I gained best this detox and experience of I love the fruits. I love the fruits,
Okay.
and I am craving my smoothie.
Amazing.
Sometimes I eat normal, but
Yeah.
I'm craving my smoothie. That's the new thing that I felt. Um,
Can we
يعني
take pride in that, Yasmin? Can you be proud of that? That you craving the fruits, you're craving your smoothie, you don't drink coffee, you have your cucumber juice every day, you have your lemon water every day. Can you find pride in that? Because those are things that you are doing and you're doing well and you're doing consistently. Can we try
yes.
and reframe that a little bit? You can always tell yourself, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm
Mm,
very proud of, and then list all the things that you are doing instead of keeping your mind in this sort of vicious cycle of I'm not proud of myself. I'm not, because that's not going to be motivation to help you
mm,
move forward, right? And there's no reason not to be proud of yourself.
mm,
This is a journey, and for everybody here, you've heard the different stories. Everybody's so different. The
mm.
fact that you didn't vomit does not mean that your body's not detoxing. The vomiting is the 0.001% of the ladies in the group. This is not a
Okay. لا,
norm.
I
This is not a
didn't
common
experience.
reaction. It's not a common reaction by any means. So out of a group of
Mm,
72 women, okay, I think I had two who went through
okay.
some bouts of vomiting. That's not a common symptom. So not don't think that if you weren't literally purging, then that means your body wasn't detoxing. And if you're also somebody who has done water fasting, okay, That means your body is used to some level of detoxing already, a much more deeper level of detoxing. So when you come to a detox that includes food, you might not necessarily have any symptoms because you've gone through a
Mm.
deeper detox before. And that's something to be very proud of. Water fasting is not easy.
Yeah, it's not.
Not easy. So let's think of all the accomplishments that you have actually, you can put on a list and say, I am proud. I have done this. And here's what I'm going to do next to take myself and take my health to the next level. Here's what I'm going to prioritize next. I know that I've done this for 1 month. In the 1 month, I felt more energy. I was glowing. I felt great. But we also know that 1 month is not enough, right? So this is where you need
Okay.
the reality check for yourself, right?
Mm.
The reality check around 1 month is not going to heal fibromyalgia.
Mm.
It's going to take the minimum time would be 3 to 4 months and onwards for you to feel significant shifts in fibromyalgia and then maintaining it. So
Mm.
as I hear you speak and you caught on, right? You keep saying, I went back to my routine. I went back to my normal. Okay. Your normal made you sick.
Mm.
So we need to do a reframe here of what is considered normal and sit with yourself a bit. And why are you going back to a routine that you know, because you've felt the proof, routine that makes you go back to triggering all of your symptoms again?
It's an emotional thing. It's
So
an
we need to
emotional
go and look at
thing.
the emotional triggers there. So
Yes.
when you have an emotional upheaval in your life, when you have something huge that happens in your life, if you are turning to food to ease that discomfort, this is where your work is. You can do a water fast. You've proved it several times. You can do this detox. You proved it several times. So the work for you is not about can I have a smoothie for breakfast? Can I have just water for 21 days at an end? No, you've accomplished that. You proved that in terms of an application of a system, you can do it. The work for you is to look now deeper into the emotional triggers that get you off your focus.
The
Because
exclusion. The exclusion. I feel I don't
mm,
want to be excluded
you
from
don't
my
want to be,
husband, from the.
is
Yes.
this the only way that you feel included?
No, of course not. But when we go out, I don't want to eat alone, and all of the others are eating the same things. When I travel, the same thing. When I'm alone at home, I could eat vegetables and fruits and be happy.
So
But when I am with people,
what happens when you have a fibromyalgia flare up?
it was an event, a psychological event before.
What happens though to your body? Like, can you function? Can you go out? Can you be doing your day-to-day activities? If your family's going out, if you're traveling, are you still able to do that with the fibromyalgia flare-ups?
I could, but I am in a fatigue, yeah, but I could.
Right. So what's actually creating the exclusion in your life? And what will continue
Both,
if it's not
both.
treated, right? If it's not treated, because we know fibromyalgia is not just going to stay. It's not just going to stay without getting worse, unfortunately. So
It will go worse.
it will get worse if you don't get a handle on it in terms of nutrition. So
Mm.
in that case, what's truly going to hinder your life? What's truly going to be the thing that keeps you excluded from living your life?
I want to know, يعني, I feel that water fasting is easier for me than the detox, the hormonal detox.
Here's the thing about water fasting. Whoever wants to do it, but it's not sustainable because number one, you don't do it at home. You do it
Yes,
in an environment where everything is done for you. You don't have a choice, okay? And
yes.
I don't know to what extent you address emotional triggers while you're there, to what extent you make yourself face your emotional anything emotional and how you process it or not. And from what I understand, coming back from a water fast is challenging for people because they kind of go from one extreme to the next. So, and I know lots of my clients that will do it on a regular basis and they almost treat it as a diet, as a quick fix. Yeah, I'm going to go for 7 days, 14 days, 21 days. I know I have no choice. I'm not going to eat. I can do it and come back. And then you know what happens after a while? Stops working.
Mm. Mm.
Because it's not about the things that you do every once in a while that make a difference to your health. It's about the little things that you do consistently every single day. And with
Yes.
fibromyalgia, we know it's a degenerative disease. If it were just if we knew that you would just stay as you are today,
Mm.
no problem. Do a little bit of this and that and this and that. You're okay with the times that you get tired, but it won't just stay this way.
Oh, it's برضه very difficult to to
This
to um,
this is a
to stick.
mindset, right? You're telling yourself this is a sentence right there that has cut off possibility. You're saying this is very difficult. You've cut off possibility.
يعني you want for fibromyalgia to be treated that I stay all my life eating fruits and vegetables only.
You tell me how you want to live your life.
لا يعني I mean every the list of food that we don't take, it's my routine خلاص, it's my all my life.
If you want, and I'll use this as a segue to what I wanted to conclude with for today. When you think, ladies, of your future self, however old, however young you are today, okay? And you think of yourself in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. How do you see your future self? Because what you're doing right now is not just about fixing the current issues that you have or fixing the current symptoms that you have. It is about how you are going to move through the rest of your life. And we know without a shadow of a doubt that regardless of what DNA you've got, what genetics you've got, if everybody in your family has fibromyalgia or has diabetes or gets arthritis or gets heart attacks at 76 and dies, is not what is going to happen to you unless you live and eat and drink and move and think exactly the same way that everybody in your family has. You have 100% control to move through the rest of your life. Only God knows how long we all have left. We're not trying to prolong our life. We're talking about however much time we have on this earth, the quality of that life, whether you have symptoms and in an illness, you're on medication, or you're vibrant and energetic and living every day to the fullest and living out your fullest potential, is 100% in your control. 100%. There is no such thing as aging and eroding and declining as you get older, unless you're making the choices that put all of that into action. So I want you to keep reminding yourselves, how do you want to be? How do you want your future self to be? It will require discipline. 100%. It will require you to change your mindset and your habits and the things you're putting in your body. 100%. But you have that goal. And we've all seen the women in our lives, the older women in our lives, as examples. If you're okay with that example, you have the choice. Keep going. A lot of people say, it's just one life. I don't want to miss out on anything. I want to enjoy my life. Okay, but are you really enjoying it when you hit 60, 65 and you really can't do things anymore, and you spend the next 15 to 20 years in a general decline, doing less and less every year until maybe the last 10 years of your life between 70 and 80, you're just sitting at home on a couch. Is that actually enjoying your life? Let's
No.
redefine the definition of enjoyment. What is actually taking away from my life? I urge all of you to go back to the thought model class because this is all mindset. If you're telling yourself this is difficult, you've cut off potential. You're telling your mind, you're giving your mind that instruction that this is difficult. And your mind is like, it's just going to believe everything you say. Okay, this is difficult, so we're just going to go back to eating cheese and bread and eggs and dairy and desserts. And because you said it's difficult, so خلاص. This is literally how the brain works. So create a vision for your future self, ladies, all of you. Create it. I mean, I'm feeling it now, like as I just became a grandmother, and I'm thinking, it's taken me years, it does take years to reach a place where I can be a grandmother in a very, very non-traditional sense. I have the same energy as my daughter. Same energy as my 28-year-old daughter. I'm not too tired to wake up in the middle of the night. I'm with her up all night, wake up and do my work. I cook for her, I clean for her, I do her laundry, I do everything. How do you want to be when you get older? We've seen grandmothers, old, tired, they don't do much, some of them, okay? It's not out of your control. On the contrary, it's 100% in your control. But it's going to take work and it's going to take discipline and it's going to take a commitment. It's not, unfortunately, just going to drop in your lap. But it's so worth it. All right, ladies, I appreciate you all on this call and for sticking with me for this long. I know that bittersweet ending. I do want to just say huge, huge thank you for all of you. As always, I tell all my clients this, all my groups this. In 12 years of doing this work, it never ever ceases to amaze me the power of the women who join my programs in how incredible they are in taking a leap of faith into something so unknown and into coming into a program with me where you do sort of just lay your trust in the process without maybe even hardly knowing me. So I appreciate this immensely. There isn't a time when or a program that I still am not learning from all of my clients as much as you are learning from me. So thank you for always uh, giving me an opportunity to grow, giving me an opportunity to course correct, giving me an opportunity to think more, analyze more, try and figure things out more. So huge, huge, huge appreciation and love for all of you. I'm not going to say I'm going to miss you because, like I said, we're all still in communication. Please reach out to me when and if you need support and help. I will be there for you. It's that simple because I know this journey. Yasmin, by all means, reach out once the holidays are over as you think about this. Zainab, I know you're still ongoing. I'm not like singling ladies out. All of you, please reach out to me, but there are just a few of you I know might still need a little push as we go through. I might be a bit slower to answer, but I will answer. All right, ladies, have an amazing Eid holiday next week, ladies. كل سنة وانتم طيبين. And those of you who will be celebrating Easter a few weeks later, have a beautiful Easter celebration as well. And I'll look forward to hearing from you. Updates, right? Let me know. It doesn't just have to be reach out because there's a glitch. Also update me when things are going really well and you are hitting milestones and you're feeling better and you're getting amazing test results. I would love to hear about all of that as well. You're all so, 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 so welcome. It has been an absolute pleasure. And I love you all, ladies. Good night.
Thank you.